Live. Yulong opens up about his married life in a brand new interview in Beijing. In the ever-evolving world of Chinese entertainment, few stars have managed to captivate audiences with the same quiet intensity, elegance, and mystery as Yulong, known for his commanding screen presence, disciplined professionalism, and carefully guarded private life. Yulong has long been regarded as one of the most enigmatic figures in the modern C-drama industry. So when news broke that Yulong had granted a rare, deeply personal interview in Beijing, fans across Asia and around the world knew this was no ordinary media appearance. This was not a promotional tour. This was not a scripted press junket. This was something far more intimate. For the first time since his marriage, Yulong sat down with interviewers to speak openly about his married life, emotional growth, personal struggles, and the transformation he has undergone away from the camera. The interview, held in Beijing and broadcast live to select media platforms, immediately became one of the most talked about entertainment moments of the year. Tonight, we break down everything Yulong revealed, why this interview matters, and how it reshapes the public's understanding of the man behind the roles. A carefully chosen moment. Why this interview happened now. Yulong is not known for impulsive decisions. Throughout his career, every public move, from project choices to public appearances, has been deliberate. That is why fans were stunned when his team confirmed a live interview focused not on work, but on marriage and life beyond fame. Industry insiders believe the timing was intentional. Over the past year, Yulong has experienced a period of significant transition. A noticeable slowdown in drama projects, reduced public appearances, increased speculation about his private life, growing curiosity about his relationship and marriage. Rather than allowing rumors to spiral, Yulong chose to address the narrative himself, on his own terms in his home country, surrounded by familiar faces and trusted media. From the opening moments of the interview, it was clear. This was not a performance. This was reflection. The atmosphere in Beijing. Calm, intimate, and honest. The interview took place in a minimalist studio in Beijing, far removed from flashy red carpets or elaborate sets. The lighting was soft, the seating simple. Yulong appeared in a neutral-toned outfit. No dramatic styling, no heavy makeup. Fans immediately noticed how different he looked. Not less polished, but more grounded. There was a sense of maturity, even serenity, in the way he carried himself. When asked how he felt sitting down to talk about his married life publicly for the first time, Yulong paused before answering. A pause that spoke volumes. "I'm not nervous," he said calmly. "I'm thoughtful. There's a difference." That single sentence set the tone for everything that followed. Life after marriage. I learned what silence really means. One of the most powerful moments of the interview came when Yulong was asked how marriage had changed him. Rather than offering a romanticized or idealized response, he spoke with striking honesty. "Before marriage, my life was full but noisy," Yulong admitted. "After marriage, it became quieter. And in that quiet, I learned what peace really is." He explained that marriage forced him to confront parts of himself he had previously ignored. His impatience, his tendency to retreat emotionally, and his reliance on work as an escape. According to Yulong, married life introduced balance in a way no award or successful drama ever had. Success gives you applause. Marriage gives you reflection. This line alone sparked waves of discussion across social media, addressing the pressure of fame on his relationship. As a top-tier celebrity, Yulong has lived under constant scrutiny for years. Fans wanted to know, how does fame affect a marriage? Yulong did not shy away from the question. He acknowledged that being constantly watched, even indirectly, creates unique challenges. "When you are famous, even your silence is interpreted," he said. "And when you are married, that interpretation doesn't only affect you, it affects someone you love." He revealed that one of the hardest adjustments was learning how to protect his partner emotionally, especially from online speculation and invasive curiosity. Rather than engaging with rumors, Yulong said he and his spouse made a mutual agreement early on. Privacy would be their strongest shield. Not everything meaningful needs to be explained to the world. Why he rarely talks about his wife. One of the most frequently asked questions, finally addressed, was why Yulong rarely speaks publicly about his wife. His answer was simple but profound. Because love doesn't need witnesses. Yulong explained that he made a conscious decision to separate his public identity from his personal life, not because he is ashamed or secretive, but because he believes intimacy loses its power when constantly displayed. He added that his wife did not marry Yulong the celebrity, but Yulong the person. That distinction, he said, matters deeply to him. How marriage changed his view of acting. Perhaps one of the most unexpected revelations was how marriage has reshaped Yulong's approach to acting. Before marriage, Yulong admitted he often chased intensity, emotionally heavy roles, dramatic suffering, complex internal conflict. Now, he finds himself drawn to stories with emotional depth rather than emotional chaos. When your life becomes more stable, you stop glorifying pain, he said. You start appreciating restraint. He hinted that future projects may reflect this shift, focusing more on character growth, moral dilemmas, and long-term relationships rather than explosive romance or tragedy. For fans, this opened up exciting possibilities about the next phase of his career, handling rumors, speculation, and online narratives. No discussion about Yulong would be complete without addressing the constant rumors that follow him. During the interview, he was asked directly how he deals with false narratives about his marriage and personal life. Yulong's response was measured and mature. Rumors are like shadows, he said. They only exist because there is light. I focus on the light. Rather than responding emotionally or defensively, he chooses silence, not as avoidance, but as self-preservation. He emphasized that reacting to every rumor would mean allowing strangers to dictate his emotional energy. Peace is expensive, he added. I don't give it away easily. Fatherhood rumors and his thoughtful response. When the conversation briefly touched on speculation about children, Yulong remained respectful and cautious. He neither confirmed nor denied anything, but shared a perspective that resonated deeply with viewers. Some experiences are not meant to be announced, he said. They are meant to be lived. This response was widely praised for its dignity and restraint, reinforcing his consistent stance on privacy. The emotional cost of growing up in the spotlight. In one of the most introspective segments of the interview, Yulong reflected on how fame affected his emotional development. He admitted that entering the industry at a young age forced him to mature professionally before he had matured emotionally. Marriage, he said, helped him reconnect with a more authentic version of himself. When you are young and famous, you learn how to perform before you learn how to feel, he said quietly. This statement struck a chord with many fans, who praised his vulnerability. What this interview means for his fans. For longtime supporters, this interview felt less like celebrity news and more like closure, or perhaps clarity. Yulong did not reveal dramatic secrets. He did not chase headlines. Instead, he offered something rarer, context. He allowed fans to understand why he values privacy, why his career pace has changed, why his public image feels more restrained, why his energy feels calmer, more grounded. In doing so, he strengthened the trust between himself and his audience. Industry reaction. Respect over sensation. Following the interview, reactions from industry peers were overwhelmingly respectful. Many praised Yulong for redefining how male celebrities can talk about marriage, without turning it into spectacle. Entertainment analysts noted that the interview may mark a shift in how Chinese actors approach public discussions of personal life, prioritizing dignity over drama. A new chapter for Yulong. As the interview came to a close, Yulong was asked one final question. How do you want to be remembered at this stage of your life? His answer was simple. As someone who lived honestly. Not as a star. Not as a symbol. Just as a person. Final thoughts. Yulong's Beijing interview was not shocking because of what he revealed, but because of how he revealed it. In an industry built on exposure, he chose restraint. In a culture obsessed with speculation, he chose reflection. In a world that demands constant access, he chose boundaries. And in doing so, Yulong reminded us that true confidence does not shout. It speaks softly, and only when necessary. For fans of K-drama and C-drama alike, this moment will be remembered not as gossip, but as growth.